Zephaniah. This is the word of Adonai that came to Zephaniah the son of Cushi, the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, during the reign of Hosheahu, the son of Ammon, king of Yehudah. I will completely sweep away everything off the face of the land, says Adonai. I will sweep away humans and animals, the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, also the wicked and what makes them stumble. I will wipe humanity off the land, says Adonai. I will stretch out my hand over Yehudah and all those living in Jerusalem. I will wipe away every remnant of Baal from this place, the idol-serving priests and even their names, those worshiping heaven's army on the roofs, also those who worship and swear by Adonai, but swear to Melchem as well. Those who turned away from following Adonai and those who haven't sought Adonai or consulted him at all. Keep silent before Adonai Elohim, for the day of Adonai is near. Adonai has prepared a sacrifice. He has set apart those he invited. When the time comes for Adonai's sacrifice, I will punish the leaders and the sons of the king, also those who dress in foreign clothes. On the same day, I will also punish all who jump over the threshold to fill the house of their master with violence and deceit. Also on that day, says Adonai, a cry will be heard from the fish gate, wailing from the city's second quarter, and a loud crash from the hills. Wail, you who live down the hollow, because of all the merchants are destroyed. All who trade with silver are ruined. When that time comes, I will search Jerusalem with lamps and punish those who are smug and thick like wine, left too long on its dregs, who say to themselves, Adonai will do nothing, neither good nor bad. For this, their wealth will be plundered, and their houses will be destroyed. Yes, they will build houses, but not live in them. They will plant vineyards, but not drink the wine. The great day of Adonai is near and coming very quickly. Hear the sound of the day of Adonai. When it's here, even a warrior will cry bitterly. That day is a day of fury, a day of troubles and distress, a day of waste and desolation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick fog, a day of the shofar and battle cry against the fortified cities and against the high towers on the city walls. I will bring such distress on people that they will grope their way like the blind, because they have sinned against Adonai. Their blood will be poured out like dust, and their bowls like dung, and their bowels like dung. Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to save them. On the day of Adonai's fury, the whole land will be destroyed in the fire of his jealousy, for he will make an end, a horrible end, of all those living in the land. Gather together, gather yourselves, nation devoid of shame, before the decree takes effect and the day comes when one passes like chaff. Before Adonai's fierce anger comes on you, before the day of Adonai's anger comes on you, seek Adonai, all you humble in the land, you who exercise justice, seek righteousness, seek humility. You might be hidden on the day of Adonai's anger. Razah will be abandoned. Ashkelon will be desolate. They will evacuate Ashdod at noon, and Ekron will be uprooted. Woe to the inhabitants of the seacoast, the nation of Crete. The word of Adonai is against you. Canaan, land of the Plishtim. I will destroy you, no one will be left. The seacoast will be reduced to pastures, meadows for shepherds, pens for sheep. The coast will belong to the remnant of the house of Yehudah. They will pasture their flocks there, and in the evening lie down in the house of Ashkelon. Adonai their God will remember them and restore their fortunes. I have heard the insults of Moab and the taunts of the people of Ammon, how they revealed my people and boasted and expanded their territory. Therefore, as I live, says Adonai Sabaoth, the God of Israel, Moab will become like Sodom and the people of Ammon like Amorah, land covered with needles and salt pits, desolate forever. The remnant of my people will plunder them, the survivors of my nations will inherit them. This is what they will earn for their pride. For having revealed and boasted against the people of Adonai Sabaoth, Adonai will be fearsome against them. For he will make all the earth's gods waste away. Then all the coasts and islands of the nations will worship him, each from its place. You too, Ethiopians, will be put to death by the sword. He will stretch out his hand against the north. He will destroy Ashur. He will make Nineveh desolate, as dry as the desert. Herds will lie down in it. All kinds of wild animals, too. Jackdaws and owls will roost on their columns, voices screeching in the windows, desolate on the doorsteps. For its cedarwork is stripped bare. This is the city, once so joyful, whose people felt themselves secure, who used to say to herself, I am the greatest, I have no rival. What a ruin she has become, a place for wild animals to lie down, everyone passing by her, hissing, shakes his fist. Woe to her who is filthy, defiled, woe to the tyrant city. She wouldn't listen to the voice, wouldn't receive correction. She didn't trust in Adonai, didn't draw close to her God. Her leaders are there with her roaring lions, her judges, desert wolves, who don't leave even a bone for tomorrow. Her prophets are reckless and treacherous men. Her Kohanim profane the holy and do violence to Torah. Adonai, who is righteous, is there among them. He never does anything wrong. Every morning he renders his judgment, every morning without fail. Yet the wrongdoer knows no shame. He has cut off nations, their battlements are ruined. I have made their streets ruins, no one walks in them. Their cities are destroyed, abandoned, unpeopled. I said, surely, now you will fear me. You will receive correction, so that her place will not be cut off by all the punishments I brought on her. But no, they only grew all more eager to be corrupt in all that they do. Therefore, wait for me, says Adonai, for the day I will rise against, for the day when I rise to witness against you, when I decide to assemble nations, to gather kingdoms together, to pour on them my indignation, all my furious anger, for all the earth will be consumed in the fire of my passion. Then I will change the people so that they will have pure lips, to call on the name of Adonai, all of them, and serve him with one accord. Even from beyond Ethiopia's rivers, they will bring those who petition me, the daughter of my dispersed and my offspring. When that day comes, you will not be ashamed of everything you have done, committing wrongs against me, for then I will remove from among you those of you who take joy in arrogance. You will no longer be full of pride on my holy mountain. I will leave among you a poor and afflicted people, who will find their refuge in the name of Adonai. The remnant of Israel will do no wrong, nor will they speak lies, nor will they be found in their mouths a tongue given over to deceit. For they will be able to graze and lie down, and no one will disturb them. Sing, daughter of Zion, shout, Israel, be glad and rejoice with all your heart, daughter of Jerusalem. Adonai has removed the judgments against you. He has expelled your enemy. The king of Israel, Adonai, is right there with you. You no longer need fear that anything bad will happen. On that day it will be said to Jerusalem, do not fear, Zion. Don't let your hands droop down. Adonai, your God, is right there with you as a mighty Savior. He will rejoice over you and be glad. He will be silent in love. He will shout over you with joy. I will gather those of yours who grieve over the appointed feasts and bear the burden of reproach, because they cannot keep them. When the time comes, I will deal with you, all those who press you. I will save her who is lame, gather her who is driven away, and make them whose shame spread over the earth the object of praise and renown. When that time comes, I will bring you in. When that time comes, I will gather you and make you the object of fame and praise among all the peoples of the earth. When I restore your fortunes for your very eyes, says Adonai. Haggai. In the second year of Darvish, king, first day of the 6th month, the following of the word of Adonai came through Haggai, the prophet of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Yehuda, and to Yehoshua, son of Jehozadak, the Kohen Haggadol. Here is what Adonai Sabaoth says. This people is saying that now it isn't the time. Time hasn't yet arrived for Adonai's house to be rebuilt. Then this word of Adonai came through Haggai the prophet. So is now the time for you to be living in your own paneled houses, while this house lies in ruins. Therefore, hear is what Adonai Sabaoth says. Think about your life. You sow much, but bring little in. You eat, but aren't satisfied. You drink, but never enough. You clothe yourself, but no one's warm. And he who works for a living earns wages, but are put in bags full of holes. Here is what Adonai Sabaoth says. Think about your life. Go up into the hills, get wood, and rebuild the house. I will be pleased with that, and then I will be glorified, says Adonai. You looked for much, but it came to little, and when you brought it home, I blew it away. Why? Asked Adonai Sabaoth. Because my house lies in ruins, while every one of yours runs to take care of his own house. This is why the sky above you has withheld the dew, so that there is none. The land withholds its yield. In fact, I called for a drought on the land, and on the hills, on the grain, the wine, the olive oil, on what the ground brings up, the men, the animals, and all that hands produce. Then Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Yehoshua, the son of Jehozadak, the Kohen Haggadol, with all the rest of the people, paid attention to what Adonai their God had said, and to the words of Haggai the prophet, since Adonai their God had sent him. And the people were filled with fear in the presence of Adonai. Haggai, the messenger of Adonai, conveyed the message to Adonai to the people. I am with you, says Adonai. Adonai roused the spirit of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Yehuda, the spirit of Yehoshua, the son of Jehozadak, the Kohen Haggadol, and the spirits of all the rest of the people, so that they came and begun to work on the house of Adonai Sabaoth, their God. This was the 24th day of the 6th month of the second year of Darvish the king. On the 21st day of the 7th month, this word of Adonai came through Haggai the prophet. Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Yehuda, and Yehoshua, the son of Jehozadak, the Kohen Haggadol, and to the rest of the people, say this to them. Who among you is left that saw this house in its former glory? And how does it look to you now? It seems like nothing to you, doesn't it? Nevertheless, Zerubbabel, take courage now, says Adonai, and take courage, Yehoshua, the son of Jehozadak, the Kohen Haggadol, and take courage, all you people of the land, says Adonai, and get to work, for I am with you, says Adonai Sabaoth. This is in keeping with the word that I promised in a covenant with you when you came out of Egypt, and my spirit remains with you. So don't be afraid, for this is what Adonai Sabaoth says. It won't be long before one more time I will shake the heavens and the earth, and the sea and the dry land. I will shake all the nations, so that the treasures of all the nations will flow in. I will fill this house with glory, says Adonai Sabaoth. The silver is mine, the gold is mine, says Adonai Sabaoth. The glory of this new house will be surpassed that of the old, says Adonai Sabaoth. And in this place I will grant shalom, says Adonai Sabaoth. On the 24th day of the 9th month of the year of Darvish, this word of Adonai came through Haggai the prophet. Here is what Adonai Sabaoth says. Ask the Kohanim what the Torah says about this. If someone carries meat that has been set aside as holy in a fold of his cloak, and then he lets his cloak touch the bread, stew, wine, olive oil, and any other food, does that food become holy too? The Kohanim answered, no. Then Haggai asked, if someone who is unclean from having had contact with a corpse touches any of these food items, will they become unclean? The Kohanim answered, they will become unclean. Haggai then said, this is the condition of the people. This is the condition of the nation before me, says Adonai, and this is the condition of everything their hands' produce, so that anything they offer there is unclean. Now, please, from this day on, keep this in mind. Before you begin laying stones on each other to rebuild the temple of Adonai throughout this whole time, when someone approaches a 20-measure pile of grain, he found only 10. When he came in the winepress and draw only 50 measures, there were only 20. I struck you with blasting winds, mildew, and hail, and everything in your hands produced. You still wouldn't return to me, says Adonai. So please, keep this in mind from this day on. On the 24th day of the 9th month, from the day of the foundation of Adonai's temple was laid, consider this. There's no longer any seed in the barn, is there? And the fig tree, vine, pomegranate tree, olive tree, have produced nothing yet, right? However, from this day on, I will bless you. The word of Adonai came a second time to Haggai, the 24th day of the month, as follows. Tell Zerubbabel, the governor of Yehuda, I will shake the heavens and the earth. I will overturn the thrones of the kingdoms. I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the nations, and I will overturn the chariots of the people riding in them. Horses and their riders will fall, each by their sword and his brother. When that day comes, says Adonai's vote, I will take you, Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, says Adonai, and wear you like a signet ring, for I have chosen you, says Adonai's vote.